So, a few days ago, Konnan and Disco over on their K100 channel briefly discussed the latest AEW to NXT superstar All Ego Ethan Page. They talked about how AEW wasted this man's talent and charisma by sticking him in nothing programs that all ultimately went nowhere. He then got relegated to ROH, where he was barely ever seen, before making a few more sporadic appearances on Collision as a glorified jobber to the likes of Kenny Omega. Konnan and Disco seem to agree that Page will be a difference maker for NXT after this shakeup, and Konnan in specific had some interesting things to say about Mr. All Ego. He mentions working close with him during the program between LAX and the North, which is Ethan Page and Josh Alexander's tag team name. Konnan says with Page's size, mic skills, and in-ring work, there's no reason he shouldn't have been pushed as a major player while in AEW. He then goes on to say that while working for Tony Khan, Page would text Konnan saying how much he hates it there. He apparently realized the same thing a lot of us did, that AEW was not the promised land that it was made out to be. He would text Konnan about being fed up with the decisions made by the EVPs, seeking work outside of the company since they weren't giving him the spotlight he felt he deserved. Konnan says he offered him work in Mexico, but passport issues got in the way and it never materialized. The K100 crew moves on pretty quickly, but I thought this brought to light an issue with AEW that doesn't get discussed enough. We hear the good things, the positives about the environment in the locker room, how it's much more free backstage, just a bunch of wrestling enthusiasts getting to do what they love for a huge amount of money. And that's awesome. No matter what, it is a good thing that AEW is around and is giving work to these folks that otherwise might not be getting the opportunity to showcase their talent. But what we don't hear about as often is the other side, the guys and girls who might not be feeling that same elation for one reason or another. It appears that Ethan Page is one of those other guys that felt he wasn't used to his potential in AEW. If you follow him on social media, you'd see that in his years working for Tony Khan, he never made any complaints publicly, and things seemed to be all good for All Ego. He rode the wave of mediocrity until his contract was up, then immediately jumped ship to a brand that is already treating him like a bigger star than he ever was in AEW. I just thought it was interesting that Konnan brought this up, getting texts from Page about his discontent with the company while he was still under contract, and the fact that it seemed to go unnoticed by most people. Do you agree that Ethan Page was underutilized in AEW? Who are some other AEW talents you think might be frustrated with their current position on the roster? Leave a comment down below and let's discuss. Thanks for checking out the video.